Five Nights at Freddy's 2 has just been released, and well, let's just say it's a movie. I'd consider myself a pretty big FNAF fan, and even I'm a little disappointed by this. Hazbin Hotel Season 2 is also finished, and although I've made 2 videos on the show, I had so many more things I wanted to bring back with my 5th Opinions episode. Now the thing about these 2 is that there are people that are going to love it, and there are people who are going to hate it, and that's life. I think that's why I wanted to continue with the series, to talk about the side of people that don't really care to have opinions on specific things because of certain reasons which I will get into. Now, as someone who is a big advocate for having your own opinion and not just following the herd because it's a popular opinion you hear online or you force yourself into liking something just because others like it, today I'm going to list some examples and benefits towards why sometimes it's okay not to be critical of certain media and why that's actually okay. I'm not backing down from thinking that it's okay to be critical and having your own views on stuff, but this video comes from my recent experiences of these previous 2 projects I listed in the beginning, plus a couple others. So today I will be discussing when opinions don't matter. Make sure to like, comment, hype, join my Discord server, link in the description, and subscribe because although we reached our goal for the year, who knows, maybe we can still hit 50k. And to entice you, if we make it there within the next month before 2026, I promise I will do a face reveal only if we hit 50k subscribers before January 1st. So please subscribe. Now, although I teased FNAF 2 and Hazbin Hotel, and I'm going to talk about the Amazing Digital Circus soon, I just wanted to start off with talking about Zootopia 2. Funny how 3 out of the 4 things I'm talking about today are the second in a franchise, but I did want to address something about Zootopia 2 that I feel I need to say to align with my last video and with my last opinion episode. I accidentally spoiled Zootopia 2 for a lot of people by having the twist on the thumbnail, and although I've already apologized for this in a community post, I think I can tie it in with this video by saying that opinions around my channel don't matter whether you like or dislike my videos, because I should not have thought about putting the biggest twist in the movie on the thing most people will see when they scroll to this video. This is a bit different than I'm sure you expected, but I think it's a good thing to bring up because I spoiled the movie and people got mad, and this proves my point because although I have 40,000 subscribers, this doesn't mean I suddenly can't make mistakes, and although I've learned from this, people can still be upset about my mistakes since it wasn't cool of me to do in the first place, even if it was an accident. This is a small section, but I thought it would fit well, and although I'm sure some people may still be mad about that, I totally understand and I respect that people let me know that I should change it because I could ruin this great movie for even more people, and I'm glad you all reached out to me, so thank you, and let's move on from this. Now, a running trend is that I talk about the Amazing Digital Circus and Hazbin Hotel, and thankfully new stuff for that is here, whether that's Season 2 came out or the next episode is coming very soon. Now, I usually compare these, and I'm going to do the same now. The Amazing Digital Circus is very beloved across the internet. I've genuinely seen people say it's their favorite thing they've seen in a long time and have grown very attached to it and its characters, and it's the popular opinion that it's pretty good. Hazbin Hotel is viewed differently, where people criticize it for its humor and story, especially because it takes place in hell. And although sure, you can feel whatever you want about the show, there are still people who enjoy it, and I've learned that this show really helps people out, and regardless of what you think of the fan base, not everyone is like that, and can understand the show clearly has flaws, while also just watching it for entertainment, as most movies and shows are meant to be. The main difference between both of these shows is how they're viewed, and I think it is 100% okay to think what you want about each of these shows, but I have mentioned in the past the harassment some of these fans get just for liking it. I've talked a lot about Hazbin Hotel hate, so let me just talk more about the Amazing Digital Circus. Believe it or not, popular equal bad people exist and have attacked the show on numerous occasions, and sure, they can judge a book by its cover, but that doesn't give them the right to actually have an opinion about a show you don't watch. They can have an opinion on whether they want to watch it or not, but they can't say the entire show is bad if they haven't seen an episode or only watched a couple of them. Same goes for Hazbin Hotel. A lot of the complaints people had in Season 1 were actually mostly fixed in Season 2, but people still refuse to watch the show because they judged it by the cover based on the pilot, when the pilot is years old and doesn't have much of a connection to what the show is like now. There would be nothing wrong with someone watching Hazbin Hotel or the Amazing Digital Circus and disliking it, but whatever you don't watch, you just can't judge with an accurate lens. You can complain about it and assume that if you don't like the first 3 episodes, you'll probably not like the rest of the show. But it's become this echo chamber that if someone doesn't like a show, they will try and ruin it for everyone else, disregarding the deeper meaning people like it. You can judge a book by its cover and you can think you have a say, and respectably, you do, but your opinion will never matter if you don't put in the time to actually create your own opinion on it instead of joining an online cult of people that just love to bring others down based on what they like or don't like. Because who knows how many people were, and I'm not kidding, saved by these shows because of how they make them feel, and that's not something anyone should try and take away from another. Also, if you ever feel like you can't like these shows because of others, just remember that there is a reason neither of these shows have been canceled and why they have broken the internet before. Just saying in case you doubt yourself. Finally, I think I made it pretty clear that I was not the biggest fan of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I actually would say I didn't like it, and I have to say this next part or else some people will come at me not thinking I'm a real fan, but I am a fan. I have videos on my channel that relate to FNAF, and if someone says I am not a true fan of the series and that's why I don't like it, watch this. I have 27 minutes and 5 laps at Freddy's. I have 8.5 hours in Five Nights at Freddy's. I have 7 hours in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I have 6.1 hours in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. I have 4.2 hours in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I found this one a lot scarier, so I didn't play it as much. And Help Wanted, I have 43.2 hours, more than most people have probably. I have 17.4 hours in Help Wanted 2. I have 4.8 hours in Into the Pit. I have 10.9 hours in Secret of the Mimic. I have 53.7 hours in Security Breach alone. That's crazy. I have 7 hours in Sister Location. I have 7.6 hours in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. I have 112 minutes in The Joy of Creation, which I did a live stream on, and I love the fan game that this is based off of. I have Pop Goes Arcade, and I played for 6.6 hours. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's whatever. And I also have Ultimate Custom Night with 13.3 hours. So I think that I have some merit when it comes to a FNAF movie, and I didn't like it, but that shouldn't matter enough to you that it may influence your opinion in any way. My opinion does not matter if you like this movie, and I'm not saying this as an insult to you, but a fact, because if you went into this movie and you were blown away and loved every Easter egg, then props to you because you found stuff in here that I couldn't, and if all you need to do is see those animatronics in a movie theater with a new purpose, then I think that's totally cool, and I think that's actually beautiful. Heck, even though I didn't like the movie that much, I didn't think it was boring in the slightest. I was just holding out until the end because I was hoping there would be something more of value, and I didn't receive that, but I know some people did. Charlie from Penguin Z0, aka Moist Critical, said something similar in his video.
However, the cold hard truth of it is, it doesn't matter if the film is weak. The fact that it exists at all is satisfactory to tons of people already.
I think that it's important to recognize that although people out there are allowed to absolutely dogpile on FNAF 2, and trust me, I can do that while also not being a complete jerk to others that don't care if it has flaws or don't care that the plot is absolutely garbage if you think about it too hard, because it's fine for people to just like it because it makes them happy it exists. One of my favorite movies of all time is Little Shop of Horrors. It's also become my favorite Broadway musical ever, and I know that the movie has a lot of flaws, but I revisit it time and time again because it makes me happy, and that's all I really care about in the end. So I can look at someone that liked FNAF 2, I can understandably not see what they saw in it, but I can choose to not just bring them down because maybe seeing Choi Cheek on the big screen re-unlocked that certain desire that they had when they were a kid. Honestly, when I saw Shadow Bonnie appear for a split second, I got really excited, and yes, I saw Pop Goes and Candy in the very beginning, and yes, that Circus Baby cameo made me almost get up and do the absolute cinema thing, but we're also entitled to have our own opinions and share them, and the reason I make these videos is to keep spreading the same message over and over, using different examples, and I'll continue to make more because some people just need someone to validate their opinion, because no one has the courtesy to see others have different views on things anymore. So if the FNAF 2 movie makes you happy, good for you. If Hazbin Hotel gives you a reason to live, say less and keep on enjoying. If The Amazing Digital Circus is a comfort show to you, great. I don't know how it's going to be a comfort show once this new really ominous episode releases, but who am I to make your decisions? If Zootopia 2 wasn't your favorite, well then I have one thing to say to you. To each their own. I just hope these videos can make others realize that there is more to what others say, and you'll never get to see a piece of media through someone else's eyes, and that's life. With that said, thank you everybody for watching. I'm Enchanted. Bye.